Do we have birth control plans post-baby? I've also been getting a lot of questions about like how I'm losing baby weight and things like that. Somebody asked, will we be homeschooling? It says, what happened to your podcast? Now that you have a baby, do you still want 4 kids? Are you guys planning on moving houses anytime soon? Has it been difficult to keep up with chores and house things? Biggest unexpected challenge of motherhood so far. All right, let's catch up. I have been craving a Q&A with you guys. I feel like I haven't done just a general Q&A in a long time. So grab a coffee, grab a snack. I thought this would be a fun time to just catch up on life. Per usual, I asked you guys on my Instagram any questions that you had or anything like that. So if you're not following me over there, I kind of just post little snippets and moments throughout my day. So be sure to be following me on there if you want to keep up. I hope to be really real and unfiltered in this video. So I'm excited. Before we get into this video, I do have a general PSA for y'all. If you guys don't know, Father's Day is right around the corner. This is my first year celebrating not only for my dad, but also my husband who is now a dad. So I'm super excited to be partnering with Macys on today's video. Macys has always been my go-to for high quality pieces, especially during gifting season. And Macys has so many great gift options from top brands, whether you're trying to get leather goods like wallets, belts, or even some nicer priced items like a pair of Beats or a nice watch for your man. Macys is having their friends and family sale event, and this is the perfect time to splurge on a gift for your dad or your husband or maybe even yourself, because they're having deals on top brands that you know and love that hardly ever go on sale. So not only is the friends and family sale an extra 30% off, but you can also get an additional 15% off if you use the code FRIEND. I will have everything linked down below, anything I talk about, and this sale is June 3rd through the 9th. So I'm going to show you guys my top picks for the sale, and I will have all of these linked down below and all the info down below. I am typically so behind on holidays like this, but thanks to Macys and this amazing sale, I'm actually on top of it this year, which I'm really excited for. I have my top gifts here, and I feel like this is a great little mini gift guide for you if you just don't know what to get your dad or your husband for Father's Day, or yourself if you're a father. But in case these items don't spark any good ideas for you, Macys even has a gift guide on their website, and that's kind of what I use to pick out these items that I got for Sam and my dad. We all know my husband is a huge Yankees fan, so I got him this really nice lightweight pullover. I feel like his gear he's had for years, so it's such a great gift that he'll wear again and again. If your dad or husband is a big sports fan, I feel like their favorite team is a great gift to get. And sometimes these items are a little pricey, but with this sale, it makes it much more budget friendly. This I think is such a great idea, and I feel like this idea goes under the radar, and that is a nice quality robe. This robe is from Land's End, and it feels so luxurious, and they had a ton of different colors, but I feel like this navy is just very, I don't know, royal, pristine looking. An easy gift that is always a hit is cologne. I feel like it's a gift that people just always appreciate. So this scent, if you're like, I don't know if they're gonna like it, this one, I have not met a man that does not like this smell, and I've also not met a woman that does not like this smell. This is the Acqua di Gio, is that how you say it, by Giorgio Armani. My husband loves cologne, and I actually got him a travel size of this whenever we were dating, so I thought it was like kind of sweet and sentimental to get him the full size. Summer is right around the corner. I thought a swimsuit would be perfect. This is from Tommy Hilfiger. Again, a great high quality brand that did not break the budget, and I know my husband will like how simple this is, yet it's still like a fun color. Apparently this year my whole gifting theme is blue, because I also got my husband a nice blue tie. This is also from Tommy Hilfiger. I feel like every guy needs a nice tie, whether it's for a wedding or like my husband, he has a corporate job, so if he goes to the office, sometimes he needs to wear a tie, and I just feel like it's really handy to have a nice one on hand. I really liked the pattern of this one. I feel like my husband has a lot of navy suits, so I felt like this would go well and complement it. So if you guys want to get the man in your life an amazing gift this Father's Day, I will have those linked down below. Those are my top picks, but they have so many more items on sale on their website that you don't want to miss out. And thank you again to Macys for sponsoring today's video. So with that being said, let's get into the Q&A. Let's start off with a fun, easy, light question, and it is, any travel plans soon? So yes, I'm actually a little nervous. We are going to be going on our first flight and trip with Elena here in a few weeks, and I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm not going to say where we're going just yet, but it's a city, so we're going to be doing like everything on the go, and I just don't spend all day out of the house, so it'll be my first time not only traveling with a baby, but actually spending like all day out with her. So like breastfeeding in public, naps on the go, and things like that. Thankfully, we get out of the house almost every day, so I don't think that part will be new to me. It's just like the entire time that will be kind of new to me. So if you guys have any like travel tips with a baby, especially not just for the flight, like for actually day to day while you're traveling, please let me know down below. That would be super helpful. I'm definitely feeling a little nervous, but I'm also really excited. I feel like she's at the perfect age to travel. She has her like routine down, so I feel like it will be easy to like do that on the go and just make things a little bit more predictable. But she's also not like walking around yet, so we can just like carry her around and she can sleep almost wherever, which I think will make traveling really easy. Okay, this is a question I get all the time, and it's, what is Sam's job? So Sam is a software consultant. So the best way I can explain this is, so let's just say he has a client. So his clients are anywhere that have an online presence with a warehouse. So let's say you order a pair of shoes from company A. So his company's software kind of controls like the process of an employee going and getting the shoes, packaging it, and shipping it out, and like how all of that moves and works. So Sam's day-to-day is kind of like managing the relationship of like client and company, and then the software system. So he doesn't like do code or anything. So his job entails some traveling, but not a ton. And we really love his company. They are so great. And I did not grow up with my dad having like a typical job. My dad and his brothers owned a business. So it's been really cool for me to experience what it's like having a more corporate job in the family. They're very different, and I see the positives and negatives of both. Okay, I feel like the number one asked question is, do we have birth control plans post-baby? So we're kind of doing the same thing that we did pre-baby, which is using natural cycles and tracking like my basal body temperature. Now, I do understand that it's a little tricky postpartum because I technically am not ovulating yet. And typically you do that by tracking your period, and you ovulate before you get your period. So we've just been using some extra caution per usual whenever we were not trying for a baby. From here on out in the rest of our life, I will definitely be using like natural birth control. So that's the hope. Don't get me wrong, I am a little nervous during this like phase of where your body will ovulate first, but we're being as careful as possible. I will say I love natural cycles. That is how we prevented pregnancy and then even got pregnant using natural cycles. So once my period comes, I know it is a very, very reliable birth control method for us. It's just this in-between time that makes me a little nervous, but I also trust the Lord, and that if we're supposed to have another baby, we'll have one, but we're doing what we can to prevent that right now. This is a fun question. It says, what's your relationship with your brothers like? So if you guys didn't know, I have 3 brothers, and they're all older than me, and I love our relationship, especially now that we're older. Whenever I was younger, me and my closest brother, we fought all the time. Like, we just did not get along. It was really, really bad, and thankfully now we're like so close. I think just as we've grown up and matured, it's been really great. And 2 of my brothers are married, and so I'm super close with my sister-in-laws, and it really is just like a dream situation. I know that not everybody has a great relationship with their family, but I'm so grateful for that. And I feel like I always get asked, like, how do you guys maintain such a healthy and close relationship? And I think a lot of it comes from, one, we are able to be really honest and upfront with each other. I feel like nothing gets swept under the rug, and we also just like genuinely enjoy our time with each other. We feel more like friends than family, which has been really great. And I love our relationship, and it is so special. And that is really why we moved back to Tennessee, was to be close to family. And it has been such a blessing, especially now that we have a baby, being able to be around all the cousins and my baby's aunts and uncles. It's just really sweet. I've also been getting a lot of questions about like how I'm losing baby weight and things like that. And honestly, just last week I started going back to the gym. I haven't really been like proactive in losing weight. I feel like I just try to overall eat healthy and keep healthy with my body, keep my body moving, and not like overindulging too much. Now, don't get me wrong, I love food. Like, food is one of my favorite things in this life. So it is a bit of a challenge for me. I love junk food, I love candy, and I really try to make better, healthier choices. So if we eat at home, I am using really clean ingredients, more whole foods, and I try to not snack too much. And if I do snack, I get kind of healthier snacks through like Thrive Market or just like a health food store. So I find that to be helpful. But don't get me wrong, I am not perfect. Literally last night I had like Wendy's new frosty thing. I don't even know what it's called. It was really good. 10 out of 10 recommend. I got the brownie Oreo one. It was really good. I'm not like perfect, and I'm definitely not like a health nut, but I just try to make make overall healthier choices. But with that being said, I am definitely going back to the gym with the intention of building my strength back and just getting stronger again. And I definitely would like to get rid of my belly. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do think if it becomes an idol and you become obsessive over it and it starts ruling your life, like your body image, I think that is where things can get tricky. But I just kind of have a goal and I'm gonna try to get there, and we'll see if I do, but I'm not like putting so much stock in it. And thankfully me and Sam have had these conversations where I've told him, like, if I kind of put too much stake in it, will you like let me know? Like if you're sensing that I'm just kind of like obsessing over it. But I will say I've never really been that kind of person, so I don't think that's something I really struggle with. Somebody asked, will we be homeschooling? I don't even know what we're doing with the whole school situation with our kids. I know it's gonna be here before we know it. We were actually praying about this last night. I'm open to homeschooling, which is so funny. Like I would say 5 years ago, I would have never said that. I think in a perfect world, maybe private school would be great. I don't know. I had a great public school experience, but I'm not naive to the fact that like a lot has changed, but we want to balance it well. So we don't know how we'll do that, but I do think that if we ever do homeschool, we still want our kids to be, I guess, met with opposition is the best way I can put that, and not from too young of an age. But I think by high school, like you are old enough to start making your own decisions, and honestly, it's the safest place to make mistakes. Not that I want our kids to make mistakes, but you also have to like, you know, be a little hands off by the time they're like 13. So maybe we would do like homeschool through elementary, middle, and then let them go to a public school in high school maybe. I don't know. I really don't. But we're kind of, all options are on the table here. And I also think it just depends on our school system and which school we're zoned for, if we would do public school and how they run things and what's going on in the schools at that time. So all that to say, I don't really know, but we are open to anything. I think a co-op would also be great, where they like go to school a couple of days and then are homeschooled the rest of the week. And I think it'd be fun to do it that way. I don't really know. So sorry, that was like a really circular answer and I just kept saying I don't know, but I don't know. This next question, sometimes I don't want to answer it, but I think it's good that I answer it. It says, what happened to your podcast? So a lot of you guys are probably like, what podcast? Because we never started a podcast, but I'll just say it. We definitely had it ready to go. All the equipment, the studio was made and done, and then we got pregnant. And so that room became the nursery. That for me, I was like, okay, we just need to put this on pause. So we've been reconsidering it a lot, and we've kind of completely revamped our whole idea, the name, everything that we planned to do. We're kind of doing it different, and I'm excited. So I think that's going to be coming out really soon, which I feel like people don't really talk about it until they announce it, but I'm kind of over it. We've literally had everything bought since like 2022. Okay, it's been 3 years, and at this point, I'm not going to keep like hinting at it. So I'm really excited. We have a new name. We just kind of like built out a little studio recently. I'll just give you guys a hint to like what it's going to be. So you guys probably know we're believers, but this is not going to be your typical Christian podcast. It's going to be a little different, and I'm really excited for it. Okay, next question. Have you regretted working with any brands? Wow, that is a very good question. And I've also wondered this as like a consumer myself. There have been a couple of brands that I have worked with once and thought, I'm not going to do that again. I will say I never partner with a brand that I don't like truly love or care for, meaning whether it's the product itself or the service itself. I say no to a lot of brands that come across my desk. The only brands that I regret are from a standpoint that like maybe it was way more difficult than I had intended. I've only ever canceled a partnership once out of like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I'm very big on like my commitment, my word. I always want to be a joy to work with any brand that I partner with. But this one brand, the amount of work that I had to do up front was just getting crazier and crazier by the week. Like I was doing stuff and then they were like, oh, we need you to do this. And it really started stressing me out. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, I'm so sorry, but I don't think I can go through with this. I was getting so anxious over it. And I was like, this just is not worth the anxiety that it's causing me. So that is the one partnership I said yes to and then never followed through with. And we had to like cancel the contract and everything. But overall, I've had a very positive experience working with brands. I really enjoy the brands that I do work with. They're so nice and kind, and it's fun to have a relationship with them. So I would say I've only regretted 1 or 2 partnerships in my whole YouTube career, which I've worked with a lot of brands in my time. So I feel like that's pretty good. But I do think that comes from like not just saying yes to every partnership. If it does not feel fitting, I don't do it. This next question is, now that you have a baby, do you still want 4 kids? So you you would have asked me this a few weeks postpartum, I would have thought, I don't know how I'm gonna have another baby. I felt like my life had completely turned upside down. I was like, how do people do this? I was just so overwhelmed. But now, 3 months postpartum, I definitely still think I want 4 kids. I am loving motherhood now that I just know what it's like and just kind of got into my own routine and rhythm. I think it's so fun. I think having kids is so special, and I feel like there's a lot of negativity around it. I just was more scared of like all the things that I would lose, and even for like our marriage, that it's just never going to be the same. We're not going to be able to go out like we used to, and that's true. We can't go out like we used to, but the trade-off is so much sweeter and better. It's Memorial Day weekend right now, and typically we go on a Memorial Day trip. We've done that as long as we've been married. So not long, it's like we've been married forever, but every year we've done that. And this was the first year that it didn't even cross our minds. I didn't even think about it. And to be honest, I'm not even sad about it. Like, there's no place I'd rather be than in my simple, mundane life. I feel like mundane sounds negative, but I just love the rhythms that we have day to day. And I don't really long to leave and go travel like we used to. Don't get me wrong, we're literally going on a trip here soon, but I definitely thought I would feel a little bit more constricted and like wishing we could do things that we can't. And I don't feel that. And I'm so grateful for that. This next question is, are you guys planning on moving houses anytime soon? I would say the answer is no. We want to be in this house for at least 3 years is what we said, which I know for some people is like, that's so short, but we bought this house not with the intention of this is our home for the next 10 years. We really very quickly sold our house in Atlanta and moved to Tennessee. So we didn't even spend much time looking for houses. We bought this house without even seeing it. It was definitely like, okay, we want to get into our next home. We want to move to Tennessee. Let's get a house that we can afford right now, and that is good for right now. Now, thankfully, this house has so much space to grow, and that is our plan. I definitely plan to have a few, maybe a couple or a few kids in this home, but we don't plan on being here forever. Lord willing, like, I don't really know what we're doing next. Is definitely like, I would love to build a house next, but at the same time, that seems so out of reach because it's so expensive, and we would need to find land, and I don't really know where we want to be like permanently in the area that we live. So I just feel like a lot is up in the air right now, but never say never. Like, who knows? We're very big on like where the market's at, and a lot of it just has to do with like financially, what can we do? What's the best move? Houses are great investments, especially if you play your cards right with real estate. So we're just gonna see what the future holds, but I definitely am not like itching to move right now. That sounds exhausting, but at the same time, I just want to do what's best financially for us. We definitely plan to stay in Tennessee for the foreseeable future. Like, we moved here for family, so I don't see us leaving, but you never know what the Lord has, so I never want to say never, but I'd be surprised if we ever left Tennessee. This question says, has it been difficult to keep up with chores and house things? Yes, I feel like I'm constantly falling short. That's something I've really been struggling with, and feeling like everybody's disappointed in me because I can't do what I once was doing. There have been a couple times like Sam will say something and I'll perceive it that like he's disappointed in me, and so I'll have to like flesh that out with him, and he'll be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm so proud of you. You do so much. He's like, I don't even know how you do everything that you do, which is really encouraging. And I think that it's helpful that we communicate in that way, because otherwise I could totally build up this idea that he views me in a completely different light than he does. But I definitely struggle to keep up, and thankfully Sam is so helpful, especially with like keeping the kitchen tidy. I feel like that's the area that can just like explode, and so I feel like once a day he cleans up the kitchen, which is really helpful. And sometimes he'll wash my pump parts for me, which is so sweet, or he's really good at helping out with the laundry too, because it just never ends, and I know that it's just gonna get more and more as we have more kids. All that to say, yes, I constantly feel like I'm just never doing enough, and I try to tell myself like, you only need to do what you need to do. The laundry will always be there, the kitchen will always be dirty. Now, it's still good to create healthy discipline of like keeping up with those things, but at the end of the day, what's most important is that I'm taking care of my daughter and that I am loving my husband well. And sometimes that does come through me emptying the dishwasher when I don't feel like it and when I just want to break. And it's just having that perspective, but also not being too hard on myself while I'm still learning how to balance all of this. I'm gonna leave this question as the last question, and it says, biggest unexpected challenge of motherhood so far. I feel like this is gonna sound really negative, but I promise it's not, so just hear me out. One day, it was a Saturday, and I woke up to go feed Alina in the morning, and it hit me that I have no days off. Like, Saturdays are not Saturdays anymore. It used to be like, you know, I work Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, we just chill, we do nothing. I could sleep in, I could not, and it hit me for the first time that like, oh my goodness, those days no no longer exists. Like my day is the exact same every single day, and it is taking care of a baby. And it kind of was like, whoa, it was like a crazy realization, but it wasn't like overwhelming by any means. I was like, okay, because I, again, love being a mom. It's so special, but that has definitely hit me. Like I have so much responsibility. Like even the fact that the other day we were chilling and Sam just fell asleep on the couch, and I was like, it's kind of crazy. Like I literally can't just fall asleep on accident because I have to take care of Elena. Somebody's got to keep her fed. And since I'm breastfeeding, it's not like Sam can really do much in that department, which is kind of crazy. And I will say, I can see how bitterness could build up there. Thankfully, that hasn't been a temptation for me yet. And I think it's just, I've been trying so hard to just have such a positive mindset during the season. And I think it has really helped, especially with like middle of the night feedings. I just, as I'm holding her, try and remember like these days are so fleeting. I'm gonna blink and she's not gonna be waking me up in the middle of the night. I'm gonna blink and she's gonna be graduating high school, and keeping that in the forefront of my mind definitely helps me enjoy the moments that are harder, like waking up at 4 a.m. or whenever I'm really tired and I want to take a nap, but I can't in that moment because I'm gonna have to feed her in 30 minutes. So I would say that was like unexpected, and maybe that seems obvious, like duh, you're not gonna get any breaks, but it's a whole other thing to experience it and be like, whoa, this is the reality that like I'm doing this every day from here on out. But it's sweet and it's so rewarding, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I honestly have thought like, wow, I kind of wish we did this sooner. I don't regret anything. I think I was just scared more than I needed to be, and this season has been so sweet and such a blessing. So those are all the questions in today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and be sure to be following me on Instagram if you want to be involved in the next Q&A. And thank you again to Macys for sponsoring today's video. Again, check out their friends and family sale. I will have everything linked down below. It is so great to get good deals on these top brands that rarely ever go on sale. So this is a great time to snag an awesome gift for any man in your life. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.